Prop Fiends are back, ready to attack in Brazil. 13th time in Rio for the UFC Prelim Tim. What do you think about this event?
Not a huge fan of the event in general, especially coming off of last week. I thought UFC 320 was a lot of fun, and there were a lot of spots that I liked on that card. Even though my bets didn't really play out that well, it was just a lot of people that I like to bet on more. This one, there's a couple spots, but overall, it's not the best card.
I think it's going to be a thriller. It's going to be a thriller event in Brazil. And we got Charles do Bronx Oliveira in the main event. He was supposed to fight Fiziev. Then I thought Benoit Saint Denis. There he gets Mateus Gamrot. What do you think about this matchup in the main event, Prelim Tim?
It's a very interesting matchup. I heard some rumors that Oliveira didn't want to fight because he felt like he didn't have enough wrestling practice in his team. And Gamrot's a really good wrestler. Oliveira has faced a lot of good wrestlers, but I mean, not really the same type as Gamrot. Gamrot's really number one move is going for a low single. That's not something you see somebody like Islam Makhachev doing. But I think Gamrot's been hurt in every single fight he's had in the UFC. Oliveira is one of the greatest finishers in the history of the organization. So it's a really interesting fight and one that I'm excited to watch.
Yeah, maybe Do Bronx has to do it on the feet. Keep this one standing, use his striking. I think he definitely can have success there on the feet. Now, what about last week before we get going, Prelim Tim? My shoey. Did you like it or no?
I mean, that's fine. I can't. I've never done a shoey myself, so I can't really criticize it too much. But it didn't look like a full shoe. I'll say that.
I didn't have any shoes around. Didn't want to ruin my new ones that I bought. Now I can't afford a pair. After Khalil and Patchy mix.
How about that fight?
Yeah, that fight was I thought Patchy won that split decision. Or are you talking about the banger between Yuri and Khalil?
Yeah, I agree with you. I thought Patchy won too, but he also he gave them an opportunity to give it to somebody else. He didn't win it easily. So yeah, but I met Khalil and Yuri. Khalil really was in control for the first 7 or so minutes of that fight.
Yeah, and then Yuri had a lot of heart in that third round.
Mm-hmm.
He came out ready to go. And he knew he had to get after it too, because he was down 2 rounds essentially. He needed the finish. And when was the last time Yuri went to a decision?
Right. Oh, he's only been one time in his career.
Yeah.
So
crazy.
Khalil, it was kind of like the same thing that happened to Khalil against Alex Pereira, where he looked great at first, but when he faded, he looked really bad. So it's a problem.
Yeah. One thing that I wish I would have mentioned before the fight is Khalil might not be the better nail. He's a good hammer, but he's not a great nail. On the side of Yuri Prohaska, he can be the nail. He can get hit and just recover and come back. We've seen him come back from being hurt multiple times. It's really hard to get him out of there, really, other than the potent power from Pereira.
Mm-hmm.
The
thing about guys like Yuri, though, that kind of style doesn't last forever. Eventually, he's not going to be able to take hits from someone 205 pounds over and over. His chin's going to crack, and then he's not going to be the same.
Yeah, I thought Khalil could crack it, but unfortunately not. He was not a good nail in that third round. He got finished. He looked like a wounded gazelle when Yuri just turned it on there. One hell of a fight, though. I'm not ashamed of the pick, the prediction. That was a fun night and a fun shoey bet as well. Next time I'll have to do it a little better. Usually I use a rubber boot.
Yeah.
Okay, boost this event up, Prelim Tim. The killer of the prelims. Everyone go check out his Substacks and Instagram right now. He's giving you the props of the week.
Yeah, I wrote this one up on my Substack. Bia Mesquita is coming from the jiu-jitsu world, not unlike Marcus Buchecha, but hopefully this fight goes a lot better than the Buchecha one did. they call Bia the female goat in jiu-jitsu. She's very, very accredited. Something like a 10-time champion. So she's got a real strong advantage when it comes to grappling. And Russian Ronda, her opponent here, a grappler. She's going to be a lot taller. Bia's kind of short, and she's going to be the better striker. But I think all it takes is one takedown, really, and hopefully she gets it sooner than later for Bia. When she takes her down, it's just going to be step 1, step 2, step 3. I expect her to get the submission, take her back quickly, and that'll be that. So this one, you have to pay up a little bit. It's not plus money, but I'm pretty confident in it working out. So, yeah, this is my first one.
Yeah, big spot for the Brazilian, undefeated here. Beatriz looks good in more ways than one, and she is my pick too, Prelim Tim. I think she gets the submission. If not, she's going to win the fight regardless. One of the biggest favorites on this event, 5-1 on the money line. Wow. Bookies really respect her and her grappling. My prelim prop is Lucas Rocha versus Stuart Nickel, who stepped in on an Australian card there, fought some mid-level competition, did what he was supposed to do, but I don't think he's UFC caliber. He lost that fight the night versus Jesus Aguilar. Actually got submitted round 1. And I think Roach on the feet and on the ground has more than one way to win this fight inside the distance. Either way, most likely on the feet would be my official call, but it's $3 for the knockout and $2.40 inside the distance. You can't be greedy when there's that much of a differential and still a chance for the fighter to win by a submission. I'm taking the inside the distance, playing it relatively safe. It's a coin flip fight, and a lot of times we see a finish in these coin flip fights. Sometimes it's a decision, but I feel like these two guys are finishers, and they're going to let it go in the prelims. What do you think, Prelim Tim? Check. Oh, you're on mute.
Sorry about that. I was going for a while. Okay, I'll try to recap what I just said.
I was like, oh god.
Sorry, everybody. So I think this is a good look. I think the fight inside the distance is also interesting. I'm not sure what the number on that off the top of my head is, but I think probably somebody is going to get the finish in this one. And Roca's a finisher. We did just see Nickel get finished by Jesus Aguilar, not the best guy in the UFC. So, yeah, it's a good price. I don't hate it.
Yeah, 14 out of 17 wins for Rocha are inside the distance. We're getting plus money. I'm going to attack it. Some numerology that I'm seeing here as well. But if you want the numerology plays, hit the link in bio below. Become a Zodiac forecaster. I'm not going to get into it too much on this one. I will on some other fights coming up. But definitely, I think this is a winnable fight in Brazil for the Brazilian. Inside the distance, it's going to be a banger. Stewart might show us something, but he didn't in his last fight. He got finished to Jesus Aguilar quite easily there. Yeah, his regional scene, I don't think the level of competition is overly impressive either. I think Lucas Rocha has fought the better competition, and I'm even locking him in on the money line on my lock of the week parlay. I'm that confident in Lucas Rocha, 17-2 fighter here, looking for his first win in the UFC. And now let's get this money Prelim Tim on the main card.
Yeah, so this is a good fight. Montel Jackson taking on Davison Figueiredo. I do think that the side should be Montel Jackson. He's somebody that I typically like because he comes from a wrestling background. He has big takedowns, so when he does get them, he likes to slam people. He's very quick on the feet, hence his nickname Quick. I don't see Figueiredo getting finished though, so I do like the decision. But just a little bit more of why I think Jackson should be the right side. He's much taller. He's got like, I don't have the numbers in front of me now, but I think it's a 7-inch reach advantage. He's got the wrestling advantage, and he's never been finished in his career. So Figueiredo is largely somebody who wins by knockout, especially when he was down at 125 and he was mostly a weight bully. Now he's up at 135 and he's actually looked pretty good. He's fought good competition and he's gone 3-2. So it's not bad, but he's older than Montel Jackson and smaller than Montel Jackson. Jackson is more well-rounded. I see this going the distance, and I see Jackson being the side.
Yeah, Montel Jackson, Slick Jackson, has a 7-inch reach advantage. Prelim Tim, you were correct. He's 5 inches taller. Seems like a step up in competition at the right time here versus a former champion. Get his name out there, show the people what he's capable of. Maybe a showcase fight here. And in Brazil, I don't know if the Brazilians are going to get what they want, that plus money in the co-main event with Figueiredo plus 250. I said it with Alex Pereira. I'm going to say it again. This time I'm more confident they don't pay it out. You know what I'm saying? I don't think bookies are paying out 350. Davison, Figueiredo, and I would have to say the public would be betting that more likely than Montel Jackson, a chalky money line. The sharps, in my opinion, are on Montel Jackson. Public would be on Davison Figueiredo. Great pick here. Has to be a decision, though. He has to be super defensively sound in this fight, right? Figueiredo is a finisher. He's going to go after it. It might be a boring fight. You didn't mention that. It could be a boring one, but it is a plus money prop that is likely to pay out, very likely to pay out. I like this one, Prelim Tim. We're aligning on this fight. Tell me more.
Tell me more about this one. You want more about Montel Jackson?
Yeah. Thriller by Michael Jackson. Yeah. Theme song.
So the only fight that he's lost in the UFC is against Brett Johns, who is somebody who has really creative takedowns, really good grappling. Figueiredo does have good grappling. He actually has a dangerous submission game, but he's not somebody who lands takedowns very effectively or very often. Jackson actually lands more takedowns on a regular basis than Figueiredo does. So I think if Figueiredo was to take Montel Jackson's back, that's probably where I would be the most nervous about him being in danger in this fight. But I think he's a better wrestler, and I think that he could probably keep Figueiredo away from getting in better position grappling-wise. So, I mean, I see all the advantages besides some Brazilian favoritism. Maybe if it's a close fight, maybe they give the decision to him, or maybe Figueiredo getting the knockout. But I really don't see him knocking out Montel Jackson either, though. But that's usually his biggest advantage in most matchups is his power. And I think Jackson, for one, is definitely faster in striking, and I think he has probably just as much power.
Yeah, he should be able to keep him at bay with that reach advantage, beat him up in Brazil. Brazilians won't like it, but in the main event, they should like Charles do Bronx Oliveira via domination. But my main card prop is something the Brazilians might not like. I don't think Vicente Luque is going to have a great night as a 5-1 underdog. I believe you are on the side of Joel Alvarez too, Prelim Tim. I like him by KO here. He is a submission artist, but he won his last 2 fights by knockout. I think he can make it 3 consecutive here versus Vicente. He got knocked out to Geoff Neal, Joaquin Buckley. He can get submitted too, maybe played inside the distance if you want to be real safe with this one. But obviously the knockout prop is the most likely prop rather than the submission. So I believe he can get it done on the feet here. He has a reach advantage. He's the taller fighter, and he's making the step up to welterweight. So I think it's a showcase fight for him here. At lightweight, he was looking really good Obviously, cutting weight at 6'3" is difficult to 155. 170, he should fill out fine, have a lot more power, feel a lot more comfortable in the octagon as well. I think it's an absolute slaughter from Joel Alvarez Saturday night. And Vicente Luque had brain bleeds not long ago. So,
oh, did he?
Yeah, it was an injury that he suffered. Thankfully, he recovered and he's back fighting because that was a bad injury. But he did have some brain bleeds in the past. In this
How
fight,
long ago are you talking?
4 to 5, I would say.
Okay, like years. Okay, yeah.
But hopefully they don't start happening again after this fight because Joel Alvarez is gonna knock him out. Maybe it's a liver kick in this one because his kicks are pretty nasty.
Yeah.
5 to 1 favorite prelim, Tim, on the value props. You're going to talk about it more here.
Yeah, I wasn't sure how much I wanted to say because I have this play. So yeah, I agree with Joseph. I think Alvarez is just all around dangerous right now. I think he's very aggressive. He's a little bit like Diego Lopez, but taller. So they fight a similar way where they're both mostly dangerous by submission, but they can be dangerous on the feet too, especially Diego Lopez has looked way good on the feet lately. But Alvarez has won, as you said, his last 2 fights by knockout. He's also got very long reach. He's a lot taller than Luque is. And Luque has seemed like he's been quitting in the last few losses that he's had. I was at the Joaquin Buckley fight in Atlantic City, and it looked like he just stopped fighting back, and the fight was stopped. So that's why I'm going for the later rounds props. Round 2 feels good, so we're getting plus 350. I think that Luque will hang on for maybe like a round or something, but I think Alvarez will eventually break him. One thing that doesn't really play into this bet, but that I found interesting while researching the fight, is that Alvarez has 17 wins by submission, but he hasn't landed a takedown in the UFC yet, which is also kind of similar to Diego Lopez. They both don't land a lot of takedowns, but if they get into position for a submission, they're very effective at it. So it's going to be by either fashion, either knockout or submission. I do expect Alvarez to get it, and hopefully a little bit later in the fight.
26 pro fight for Joel Alvarez. His opponents fall 2 and 6 in the knockout column. And Vicente Luque, he falls 20 and 6 by finish.
So he would have 20 finishes?
Yeah, Vicente is currently on 20 finish wins, and if he loses, he gets his 6 finish loss.
That's crazy, though. Like he was really dangerous earlier in his career. There was a time where Vicente Luque was one of the most feared strikers probably in the UFC. And also he has really good Darce chokes. Like he's very well-rounded as well, but he just hasn't aged well. And it probably has something to do with the brain bleeds that you were talking about. He just doesn't seem to have the same fire that he had a few years ago.
Yeah, this is not a great matchup for him. UFC feeding him to the wolves in his home country. And like I mentioned, it's the 26 pro fight for Joel Alvarez. His opponents can fall 2 and 6 by knockout. And Vicente Luque can fall 20 and 6 inside the distance. I think it's the knockout. Numerology says it's the knockout. There's a free play on the Zodiac forecast this week. I got another one coming up. Keep those ears open. Keep the eyes open. We're ready to go this week. Prelim Tim. You weren't sure about the knockout or submission. You mentioned before I said the code. What are you thinking now? Honestly,
I like going with either one. That's why I'm playing. That's part of the reason I'm playing the round 2 prop. In my book, you can't pick a specific finish in the specific round. You can only do specific finish or round. So I like going round 2 because it gives you a little bit more juice on the odds, but then it also gives me the option to get a submission or a knockout. So
I might even bet knockout round 2. I like that bet. I wonder what
That's
the
not a
odds are
bad
on
bet.
that.
Yeah, they're probably pretty good. They don't
Well,
offer it where I bet though.
I'm praying to the Zodiac forecast that he gets that KO with the 26 coding and round 2. You're sharp on that. I also kind of like that one as well. So round 2 KO might be the official long shot prop of the week for me and Prelim Tim. Both very confident on this 5-1 favorite. Lock of the week material right here. Lock of the week material, Prelim Tim? I think so. 36.
Lock of the week?
You
Yeah.
36 UFC fight for Charles do Bronx Oliveira going down in Brazil. Potentially gets his 36 win here. Pay it out. 11th day of the month. His 11th KO. Let's go. He's getting the KO. We mentioned he has to keep this fight on the feet. The wrestling could be a problem. He might not have been training it, you said. Well, I think even on the ground, he could find the submission, one of the best finishers inside of the UFC with the most finishes inside of the UFC. Well, he has a couple knockouts as well. He has a lot of speed, and I think he's the better striker in this fight. Inside the distance is the official call, but knockout at plus 350 is my value prop of the week. With some numerology, like I mentioned, again, let's see if we can do it. 2 knockouts with codes if you believe in the Zodiac forecast. And if you don't believe or you're not sure, let me prove it to you in Brazil this weekend. These 2 plays. KO Joel Alvarez, Charles Oliveira KO. I like him. I like him a lot.
So, hold on.
Lock material,
So,
yes, Prelim Tim.
I think so. I think so, yeah. So Gamrot has not been knocked out in the UFC. I think he hasn't been knocked out in his career. But I was just checking over here on the side to make sure. He's been knocked down 5 different times in the UFC. And it kind of feels like he gets hurt in every single fight. So Oliveira's by far the better striker. So this is good, especially for plus 350, not even picking around, just knockout in general. There's a very high chance it happens. One of the best finishers in UFC history. So,
yeah, his latest knockout wins come to Beneil Dariush, round 1 KO, and he knocked out Michael Chandler, their first fight with that left hook, round 2. Those are high-level guys. And not too long ago, Gamrot lost to Dan Hooker by split decision. Yeah. Good luck beating Charles do Bronx Oliveira in Brazil.
Yeah. I'll probably play the same thing, actually. Yeah, this is a good bet.
And, if you want to manage the money wisely, put the knockout with Charles and Joel Alvarez, a single unit, a half unit, and see what happens. You might thank me later. It might not hit. That's why you got to manage the bankroll wisely. These are just codes. Anyone can give an opinion or find numbers that match. This is my opinion. I think this is going to happen. That's why we're doing the show. That's why I come on here each and every week to give you my information. Hopefully it hits this week because that is what I'm doing. That's what I'm betting, and I'm looking to get paid. Y'all seen the receipts over the last number of months. I've made money betting. I'm looking to do it again big time in Brazil. Rather, if you believe it or not, you might believe in it more after those 2 codes smack. Now, you normally aren't ready, Prelim Tim, but who's the underdog barking this week in Rio? Well, Husky's not here. You got to let us know who's the dog barking this week.
All right, so I got ready this time because I didn't want to be caught unprepared again. So, but the problem with this card is I don't like the underdogs on this card.
Yeah, man,
I don't know how you feel. Yeah, so if I'm picking one just for the sake of picking one, he's not even my official pick yet. I'm still deciding on that fight, but I think Mario Pinto is my favorite dog right now. Looking at the card.
Yeah, he has a lot of power on the feet. New prospect here from Portugal. He might have some promise here, and Yanato Denines, he lost.
Yeah, I don't really like Denise, so yeah.
He lost a fight by doctor stoppage to Merson Taibura. That was his
Mhm.
second last fight. So
Yeah.
if old Ty Burra can do it, I mean, maybe bet knockout
Yeah.
for Pinto.
I'm betting it right now. It's an official play. Mario Pinto. I'm putting a unit on it right as we speak. Plus 110. Done.
He's
All right.
he's not my official pick, but I might go bet Pinto KO soon too. Not gonna
Okay.
lie. My official dog of the week, though, like head scratching here. I'm not really sure which one I like the most. I'm not even sure.
It's not a good dog card. If it turns into one, a lot of people are going to be losing.
Yeah, I picked a couple. It was Jaffiel Philo, but that's pretty well a coin flip.
That's what I was looking at too. Yeah.
Con Offley versus Ricardo
Yep.
Ramos.
I think you're on the right track. It's just hard to choose.
Yeah, I'm not like confident to like put heavy money on them, but they're certainly my pick. Maybe a long shot, full card parlay action. You don't have to be confident on every pick. There's 13 fights. You can be 51% confident in a pick. That's why people join the Zodiac, not the Zodiac, but the Platinum Forecast. And I give my percentage in confidence on each and every fight. And then I compare it with the bookie's odds. So say the fighter's 60% likely to win, and I'm 51% confident the fighter's going to win. We're lacking a 9% edge in that fight.
Mm-hmm.
Got to be a little cautious, right? So there's other fights we have a 30% edge, a 20% edge. So that's why being a Platinum Forecaster is worth it. Prelim Tim's in there for free since he's my good friend. And yeah, my confidence levels are there, high, medium, and low as well, with the official outcome on each and every fight. I said Con Offley's a pick, or Ofley is a pick there from Australia, potential underdog against Ricardo Ramos. Ramos has been finished a couple times here. He's a Brazilian fighting in Brazil here tomorrow that I don't really trust, and he's a favorite. So definitely a good one maybe to fade. Maybe he will be my dog of the week. Like Philo isn't a respectful underdog. I don't like giving out plus 100 underdogs at all. I feel like the people deserve better than that. Yeah, I don't really feel confident on any other underdogs unless I miss one that I forgot to mention. But I think that
you
was
heard it from me, Mario Pinto, underdog of the week.
Yeah. Maybe Carolina Kalvaskevich. She is a huge underdog, and the line does not make sense.
It might be a little bit wide, but I like Piastri by decision.
And like I mentioned, start of the show, 13th fight in Rio. The only reason why I was worried about that one was because Julia Piastri can stay on 13 wins, 13th UFC event in Rio, and Carolina could win her 13th decision. So that was why I was like, okay, the line is a little wide here. Probably going to bet that one at some point too.
It looks wide, but
yeah,
I don't know.
Pilastri's coming off a loss. I think there's lots of money to make this week, Kyle Deuce, my guy. Lots of money to make this week in Brazil. And we're on the Husky Hustler slide. He has not made it back to the show yet. He's on break, but when he comes back, he's going to be ready to attack.
So Pilastri lost to Lupe Godinez, so I don't think that's a bad loss, though.
Not a bad loss, no.
I don't think that's the same as Carolina Kalvaskevich. But you're right, the line's wide, though. I'll give you that.
But I can't give too much credit to Carolina. She is coming off, 2 decision losses, getting old in her career at some point. She's going to have to hang them up. She's not winning fights right now. All the more reason to win a fight, though, and keep her going.
Yeah. No, she's older now, though. So, I don't know. It seems to me like a Pilastri decision.
Yeah, that's my official play, but the Zodiac sometimes says different. Just because my Zodiac has code saying something does not mean that's my official pick. So people have to get that straight. The Zodiac is completely different than my official picks each and every week. I do make bets based off the Zodiac forecast. I manage the bankroll wisely, and that's what you got to do, right? Nothing's a guarantee in this game. There's lots of different ways to bet on fights, a lot of different strategies, a lot of things can work. So do what works for you. Listen to people that are, somewhat successful, have a track record, or are consistent in the game. It's hard to be consistent betting on fights. Anything can happen inside of this octagon, Prelim Tim. Anything.
Absolutely.
Like last week, I thought Patchy Mix was a guarantee, and shit.
Yeah, I don't think I can back Patchy again, unfortunately.
Yeah, never again.
Yeah,
But
I really liked him in
Zodiac
Bellator, but yeah.
UFC 320. His opponents improved to 3-20 by a greasy, slimy split decision that I don't even know how he lost. But he didn't do very much.
Yeah.
But a lot of people agree with me. It is what it is. Thankfully, the Zodiac forecasters seen it ahead of time before the fight started, knew to manage the bankroll wisely and to go a lot lighter on the lock parlay last week. This week, we are dialed in, going a little bit heavier in Brazil, Prelim Tim. I'm liking this event. I think it's going to be a thriller.
I like a few spots. I don't know about the card as a whole.
Hopefully the card's good, but yeah, I definitely like my spots. And if my spots are good and we snipe them, that's a successful night for me and Fight Fiends and forecasters worldwide. All right, Prelim Tim, before we go, tell them where to follow you.
Yeah, so Prelim Tim MMA on Instagram. I post all my picks. I post my bets right before the fight start, like my full betting card with parlays, with the ladder parlay, all my single bets. Before Saturday, I post breakdowns on my Substack, substack.com/@PrelimTim. And then I also post my final bets, usually Saturday morning on there. It's the same thing that I post on Instagram later. But if you just want it emailed to you, you can sign up for free. Then you get the breakdowns and then the final full betting card in 2 separate posts. So Instagram and Substack is where to follow me. Yeah.
Definitely worth it. Go get the win with Prelim Tim, Fight Fiend forecast. Husky Hustlers howling in the background there somewhere. He should be back soon. He's on vacation. Looking for a victory, go check out his YouTube video. He has a full card prediction video this week and a dog of the week, I would assume. Ready to go. Well, that's it for me and Prelim Tim this week. Back next event for the Prop Fiends. 9 p.m. Eastern time seems like a pretty good time. Sometimes it's 8 p.m. Eastern time. I was going to do a giveaway, but there's not a lot of people here live right now. So maybe what we'll do is comment hashtag F3 in the comment section below. Next week, all those comments, I'm going to put in a giveaway wheel, and we're spinning that motherfucking wheel next week on the Prop Fiend Show. Comment hashtag F3. Prelim Tim, how much should we give out to the winner on this giveaway wheel?
I think the standard $50 is good.
Yeah, let's give him 50. Let's give the Fiends 50.
So let's shout out Kyle.
F3.
Yeah, let's shout out Kyle Deuce since he's always supporting us. His show is his podcast is Happy Hour with Ariel and Deuce. I don't know where to find it, but probably anywhere you find podcasts. So yeah, that's it. That's his podcast, Happy Hour with Ariel and Deuce.
Yeah, go check out the Happy Hour. I've listened to a few shows, really enjoyed myself. Put it on in the background. Kyle Deuce and the woman and his friends talk about a lot of interesting things. It's a good show. They're having drinks too, Prelim Tim. I don't know about you, but they're definitely cracking one with me.
I cracked the Coca-Cola tonight. So
yeah, it's still Happy Hour for you, eh?
Yeah.
Happy hours when the first fight of the night starts. See y'all tomorrow. Go check out Prelim Tim. We out. Prop Fiends be back next week. Don't forget to put the hashtag F3. We're spinning the wheel next Prop Fiend show. Winner gets that 50. Let's go.